Hey Earthbound Army, welcome back to another video on Earth2 and a continuation of the Q&A that happened in the last video. That was kind of chunky. That video had like 15 minutes worth of information that the devs shared with us during that announcement conversation. Now this is part 2. There's also a lot of information in this one. Hopefully you find it handy. It's just a good glimmer of insight into how Wolfgang thinks and how the developers are thinking moving forward. So hopefully you find some value in the video. If you do, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more Earth2 information. I would really appreciate it. And with that, let's hop into the video. Okay, so this is an interesting one. He says, will essence be pulled or be specific use on the tiles they were generated from? Okay, so will tile A produce essence only used for tile A, or will they all be pulled together? And he says they'll be pulled. Okay, so if I bought 100 tiles in USA, I bought 100 in Japan, I bought 100 in China, I bought 100 in Australia, it doesn't mean those essence will be available only for those plot of lands. It will be pulled all together on your account. So will withdrawals always be part of the game? Simple answer, yes. You'll always have the ability to withdraw, which I guess means you'll always have the ability to sell and buy items. It's a marketplace. So again, Wolfgang's just reconfirming that pool means that it's a global resource and not linked to the property where it was created. Now, for everyone that's familiar with Entropia and EVE Online, Big Brain asks, will it be similar to that? And Wolfgang says, we have bigger plans. So I've just taken a look at Entropia just to see what that was about. So it looks like it's an MMO game with real value, real world value items, similar to what I think Earth2 is proposing, but Wolfgang says they even have bigger plans. So in Entropia, everything has real world values. You know, your clothes, your sunglasses, everything that your avatar is wearing or using. There's also land deeds in Entropia as well. So if you hold a land deed, then every year there's a certain payout for that. And in the video that I just watched, this fella had 20 land deeds worth about $200 each, and if he sold them all, he could get like 4,000 real world money. And he said that he hadn't paid any money, he hadn't spent any money in the game. He was a completely free to play player, so he must have got these land deeds through an event or something like that. So, you know, this is kind of exciting that Wolfgang is saying, like, yes, he's heard of Entropia, but they have bigger plans than Entropia, which is great. So in this other question, Mr. A says, I'm not really a gamer, and I imagine a lot of people that are currently invested are not gamers, right? But he said, but I've bought a lot of tiles. If I can't play all my tiles, is there a way to make an income? And Wolfgang says, we think so, yes, but no details here and now. So obviously they're still planning strategically ways for you to commercialize your tiles. You know, inevitably there won't be people that are interested in creating buildings and building up their land or their mega city or whatever. They just have bought tiles in the hopes that this will be the next Bitcoin, and virtual real estate is the next big thing as we move into the future, right? So he's invested, but he says, I don't really care about the gameplay. And Wolfgang says, yes, there's a way to make money, but he can't actually disclose anything as of yet. So a few people still haven't got the memo. They're asking Wolfgang why there are no announcements about resources. And again and again and again, essence is a resource. Okay, there may be other resources, but at the moment you will be mining and your tiles will be producing essence. That is the primary resources. Essence may even make up the other raw resources available in the land. We don't know yet. So another interesting question, Earth2 Meta says, I would love to hear anything that can offer guidance on tile buying decisions. Okay, so obviously Earth2 Meta, he wants to know where he should buy next, where he should invest his money, similar to everyone else that is probably watching this video. Where should they put their money in this game? Where should they buy? And Nathaniel says the community decides the strategies, not the devs. That's probably true up until a point, but everything the devs do does influence where people buy tiles. For example, at one point the devs said, you know, real world resources may translate from Earth 1 to Earth 2. Therefore, there was a huge influx of people buying gold mines, oil fields, and all this stuff, right? That, by saying that, the devs kind of dictate or influence where people spent their money and where people bought tiles. So Nathaniel's saying the community decides the strategies. The only place I feel like the community decides where they should buy and invest in tiles is the megacities. When a megacity is created and there's a Facebook thread saying, hey, join my megacity, join Pirate City or Gibraltar or Alpha Kingdom or whatever, then people would buy in that area, and that's the only way the community decides where to buy. But outside of that, I'm not too sure what helps people make the decision in buying land tiles. Now, Stefanos asked particularly about Dubai. He says, will the tiles be 10 cents when they come out? And Nathaniel says, yes, they will start at 0.1 as far as I understood. Another person did say that already Dubai tiles at 15 cents, because as we know, early in the game when Dubai wasn't landlocked, some people did go in and buy. So I think that's already raised the price a little bit. I don't know what they're going to do with that. So Fari says, awesome job on the terrain. That picture looks so detailed, it's unreal. Agreed. Looks fantastic. Looks like you're looking out the window. It's flight simulator quality, right? And Nathaniel says, thanks, wait till you see the close-up. Can't wait. Literally can't wait. Now, for those people that were asking why they removed PayPal as a payment, because a lot of people in the Discord were saying they're having problems with a Visa or MasterCard, and their banks were saying this is a fraudulent transaction and wouldn't let them actually use their credit card to input money. They're asking the question, why, what happened to PayPal, blah, blah, blah. Shane has pretty much said, we stopped using them. That is our position. He doesn't say anything more than that. We are discussing further with their most senior teams, but that's all I will say. It's confidential. So obviously there's some commercial aspects happening. When it comes to money, it's hush-hush, and obviously it's confidential. A lot of people were speculating that Earth2 don't want to pay the fees, the merchant fees. They're creating their own Earth2 payment system to bypass all that. We don't know, but all we do know is at the moment PayPal function is not available. So this person says there will be a timer for Dubai, but no one will know how long the timer is. Am I right? There will be a countdown. I think he said it's in the last announcement, it's going to be more than 24 hours. Okay, they're going to give you more than 24 hours notice. Rest assured, let's hope the servers hold up, like honestly guys, because everyone's going to be rushing to buy Dubai. Now Wolfgang gets a little bit annoyed at all the questions focusing on class tiles. He's saying, people asking, what's the advantage of having class 1, 2 and 3? What are the benefits? Should we continue focusing buying on these class tiles, blah blah blah? And Wolfgang says, we plan for the class tiles to have some kind of benefit, but the entire system is extremely complex. So in the case that it will get in the way of good gameplay, he's willing to cut them completely. Okay, he's saying that there's certain mechanics in the game that are so complex that if the class system, class 1, 2 and 3, stand in the way of the game progressing, he will cut the class system completely. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a crap about what you think. He'd rather have a good game that functions well than for people to hold on to the fact that, oh, I've got a class 1 tile. Okay, it's not going to mean anything if your gameplay is really crap. So that's what Wolfgang is saying. And he's saying that his answer will remain the same. If it affects gameplay, then yes, he will potentially scrap land classes. So another person jumps in and says, as long as you can attract 2.5 billion users, we'll be happy to forget classes. And Wolfgang says that was our idea in the first place. So, they have grand ideas. They have big expectations of where they want, Earth2 to be. So another interesting gameplay mechanic, will there be day and night cycles, as in rotations around the glowing ball in the sky? I'm assuming you mean the sun. Farhan says, yes, day and night cycles will be present and sync with real time. Fantastic. Now back to whether buying large or small land tiles are beneficial. Okay. This person says, but you still give more benefits to people that buy more tiles. That means to people that have more money. So okay, I think Cosmo is saying those people that have more money have bought more tiles. Obviously they're gonna have more benefits. So I think Cosmos is suggesting that there is an unequalness and unfairness. Cosmo, I don't know if you played MMO and other games, but of course there's going to be people that spend and pay to win. This is just the nature of gaming, right? That's why microtransactions exist, and that's why EA makes so much money, because people are willing to spend. And you can't blame the devs for that, because they're a business after all. They're in it to make money. But anyway, Wolfgang is very diplomatic in his response, and he says just because there are advantages for bigger properties in one game system doesn't mean that they have advantages in all game systems. Okay, so having big plots of 750 properties may be good for teleportation and other features. That's one gaming system, but doesn't mean that having big properties will be helpful when you, for example, have PvP battles. I don't know, I'm just making that up, but he's just saying, you know, there's different gaming mechanics, okay, gaming systems. Having big land doesn't mean you're gonna win in all scenarios. So Wolfgang is going back and forth with Mr. Sloppy Sausage. Mr. Sloppy Sausage saying, you know, I'm not arguing you, I'm merely saying that I'm merely stating why people feel misled because your website told them that C1 tiles, Class 1 tiles would have benefits that now no longer will. So he's referring back to the fact that Wolfgang is saying, you look, if it affects gameplay, I'm going to scrap all class tiles. It doesn't matter. You know, I'd rather have a good game. And Wolfgang says, so now you're saying I've ruined the game. What's the point if prices of tiles start, you know, hitting the floor anyway? You know, what's the point of having class 1 if they're all worth crap? So then Wolfgang says, where did I write that they will know that they now no longer will have benefits? I said we are planning for them to have advantages, and only in cases where this does not work in the extremely complex system am I willing to cut it. So he's getting a bit upset there. He says, why do you lie about what I said? Why are you putting words in my mouth? Okay, only in these complex scenarios where it doesn't help the gameplay mechanic will he then consider cutting land class classifications. So again, back and forth. Moon says, so you will be able to cut them off. And what about those who spent large amounts in land class 1 because they were considered more valuable? Okay, he's putting the pressure on Wolfgang now. And Wolfgang says, they will still have the benefit of a functioning game with which they can earn money, as opposed to a piece of gameplay nonsense that nobody will play and that will send their tile prices to zero. What is so hard to understand about it? What would be in it for them in this case? So again, I've already reiterated, you know, people are holding on to the fact that they've bought class 1 and they're fearing the fact that Wolfgang or the dev team may make a decision to scrap class 1 later down the track. And they're saying, well, you know, people have pumped all this money into it and we feel misled. And he's saying, well, would you rather feel misled and lose the benefits of having class 1, 2 and 3, or just have a game that is useless and your tiles be worth 0 anyway? Which one would you rather have? And Wolfgang is talking about the complexity of the systems that he knows of, which obviously we're not privy to, but he's saying, I've been on this project for 9 weeks now. How long do you think it takes to design, develop, and then play test such systems? And Sim is kind of backing Wolfgang up. He says, look, who cares about tile classes? Just do what needs to be done to make the world work. Strip the class systems if you must. And Wolfgang says, thanks. Rest assured the class system won't be stripped. We just at this point in time can't promise any specific benefit in addition to lit. Okay, periodic income, land income, or whatever it is. So they've already said that the land income tax is going to stay, but at this moment in time, outside of that, he can't guarantee anything else. If we see an opening, we will use it, but not at the cost of good game, because a good game will raise all boats. Okay, a good game will increase land tile values across the board, not just 1, 2 and 3. It will raise all land tiles. And Wolfgang finally signs off. Okay, gotta sleep now. dev meeting at 7 hours. Don't get too paranoid. And with that, guys, this has been a long ass video, but I hope you found a lot of value in it. There's a lot of content there, a lot for you to think about as you progress through the game. At times we'll probably return to this and watch this video just to see if everything lines up. This is a very fluid situation. They're developing the game as we speak, and things change all the time. So this is some information that he's provided us now. We don't know what it will look like in the coming months, years. So with that, guys, it's been an extremely long video. If you made it this far, appreciate it. Appreciate the love, support. Drop a like for this video if you found it very useful, and I'll see you in the next video.